Hello Vivekians, welcome to the next session of School from Home. I am your English teacher Gaganpreet and today we are going to learn about present perfect tense and present perfect continuous tense. Students, first of all, let's see what are present perfect tenses and where do we have to use them. Present perfect tense is formed with have or has plus past participle form of the verb. That means third form of the verb. So whenever you see has or have in a sentence and third form of the verb, it means it is present perfect tense. Okay. We use has if the subject is third person singular. Okay, with singular subject. And we use have if the subject is of any other form except third person singular. For example, I have eaten. She has eaten. They have eaten. So with he, she, it, that means third person singular, we use have. And apart from them, with every other subject, we use have. Okay. Now the negative of present perfect tense, the sentence with present perfect tense is formed by putting not after has or have. For example, I have not eaten. She has not eaten. So we put not after has or have. In the similar way, to form interrogative, we place has or have before the subject. For example, have I eaten? Has she eaten? Okay. So in this way, we form the interrogatives. So students, now let's see when to use present perfect tense. In which case we have to use them. Present perfect tense is used to express a recently completed action, often with just. So if an action was going on and it has completed recently, just now, then we use present perfect tense. For example, I have just finished cooking. She has gone to Mumbai to attend the marriage of her cousin. Okay. Next is to express past actions when the time is not given or defined. Okay. So if there's an action in past in which we are not specified about the time, for example, I have read this novel, but I don't remember the story. Have you had your lunch? No, I haven't had it yet. So if it is about action in past in which the time is not given, then we use present perfect tense. Third is to express past actions or events, the result of which still persists. If an action occurred in the past and the result is still in the present, then we use this form of tense. For example, she has had a good fortune. The prisoners have escaped from the jail. Means they escaped in the past, but the effect that they are outside the jail is still present. In that case, we use present perfect tense. To express an action that began in the past and continues up to the present moment. So if an action began in the past and it is still going on, then we use this form of tense. For example, I have taught at this school for 10 years and I'm still here. So if it is going on till now, then we use present perfect tense. Or we can say we have waited all day for the match to begin and we are still waiting. So in those cases, we use it. Students, you must remember that present perfect tense expresses the completeness of an action and not an action done at the definite time. So it doesn't tell about an action of a definite time, but it tells us about the completeness of that action. Okay. This tense expresses the present state of an completed action. So it tells that at what state that action is now. This tense must never be used with a definite time in the past, as yesterday, last month, week ago, etc. So, as told earlier also, it does not tell about a definite time. So, we cannot use a definite time period of past with this type of tense. The following adverbials are generally used in this tense. So, these are the words that will help you to recognize and use this tense, like just, never, ever, so far, till now, lately, recently, already, etc. Okay, for example, I have just returned from USA. Have you ever been to a rough sea beach? And so on. So students, now we'll learn about present perfect continuous tense. So first we'll see that how it is formed. Present perfect continuous tense is formed by placing has, have plus been plus verb in the ing form. So because it is perfect tense, we'll use has, have, and because it is continuous also, we'll use ing form of the verb, and between them we'll use been. So as you remember, has is placed if the subject is first person singular, and have is placed when the subject is either of the remaining person or number. So use of has and have is similar as we have discussed earlier, okay? For example, we can say he has been eating, they have been eating, I have been eating, the boys have been eating. Okay, so in this way we use it. To form negative sentences, we place not after has or have. For example, you have not been eating, I have not been eating, she has not been eating. So we add not after has or have. Same way, to form the interrogative, we place has or have before the subject. For example, have I been eating? Has she been eating? So the rules will remain the same. Now let's learn that where and when we have to use present perfect continuous tense. To express an action which began sometime in the past and is still continuing. So if some action began in the past and is still going on, then we use this form of tense. For example, she has been driving SUV since 2000. The children have been playing cricket for last 2 hours. To express an action which is already finished but whose effect or result still persists. So if an action of past has finished but its result are still existing, then we use this form. For example, the boy is wet because he has been playing with water. The boys are resting now because they have been running around the town all day. So the boys are resting now because they have been running the town all the day, means the action has been finished, the running has been done, but the effect is still there. Students, you must note that for and since are commonly used in present perfect continuous tense to indicate the beginning of the time or the duration of action. So these two words are used to express that an action had started in past and is going on till now. For shows a period of time up to now, and since shows the point of time in the past. It means the point to the time of speaking. For example, 4 days, 4 months, 4 years. So it is a period of time, एक duration है, okay? Whereas since points a specific time, since 7 a.m., since morning, since Sunday, okay? So for is for duration and since is for specific point of time. It is also important to note that if the time of actions fall on either day of a duration like week, month, year, etc., then since is used, okay? We are talking about specific time of action. And if the time of action falls on all days of duration like week, month, year, etc., then for is used along with the article the, a or an placed before duration of time. For example, since last week, since last Monday, we are talking about a particular Monday or a particular week. Or we can say for the last week means the whole week. For the last month means the duration of the complete month. Okay. For a week means complete duration of a week. So when we are talking about a particular time period, we use since, and when we have any duration, we use for. I hope the concept is clear to all of you, and we'll continue with the tenses in the next video as well. Thank you, students.